Okay, here and again, this data table here is the one that contains the cell IDs, and here you have the X and the Y's. So what we want to do really is just to get the coordinates for just the first for every cell ID. So there are multiple ways in which we can do this. Today we're going to try to just maybe from this data table get the unique coordinates on this database. So let's go to the internet. Let's type something along the lines of search a get unique rows in R, right? So this is probably what we want to do, extracting only unique rows based on only one column, right? So if you go and look at our database cell ID, there are multiple duplicated cell IDs. That's because every cell ID has multiple heat waves, right? And every row are all of the characteristics of every heat wave. And obviously, for this same cell ID, you get the same coordinates X and Y. So really what we want to do is just get a unique cell ID and get just the latitude and the longitude for that cell ID, right? So one way to do it, if you look at the questions, the options that we had there, this one allows you to extract only unique row based on only one column. So that could be the one. Let's just see what it does. All right. Let's see what this one does here. So set, we're going to copy the name of this one database. Either one of those two databases will be the same. And here we need to put the cell ID. Let's just run this line of code. So again, you can see that that line of code gives you only one cell ID and the latitude and the longitude. So that's what we want, right? So we go back to our thing and we are going to enter a new column here that is called coordinates. That's going to be equal to subset the unique cell IDs on the heat waves. Now we can run that line of code, and now we have a variable that has the coordinates, but obviously it has all of this other information that in reality we just don't need. We just need the cell ID and these two columns, right? So what we do is we enter another data table, but we're just gonna select those columns. So you open the square brackets, comma, C, open brackets, and we're gonna copy the names of the variables that we want. We want cell ID, and we want also the X and the Y. And that has to go between brackets, between quotations, sorry, comma, and then put quotation and quotation. That should select only our three columns that we want. We haven't closed the brackets. Just Google quickly here how to select columns in data.table. I just want to select those 3 columns there. So here is an option, select multiple columns in data table. Let's see what it does. So I scroll down. So I think that I'm missing this with face, false. Let's see. So again, false. Let's see. There. So I was just missing this part there. So again, I was just trying to get a new data table that contains the cell ID and the coordinates X and Y, right? So we need to generate a variable that is going to be called equals coordinates, and that's going to be equal to a data.table, open brackets, that is going to contain the coordinates, which is this one that you had there. It's going to have the cell ID, the X and the Y, and with this false is necessary for this function for you to select just those 3 columns. So we go back to our R and we enter that line of code. Now we had a data table that contains the cell ID, the X and the Y. We need to set the key of that data table. We enter the name of the database, and then the key is going to be cell ID. Then you close brackets, you run the line of code. Now you have a key. Now what we want to do is to merge these coordinates to our database when we had the absolute change, right? So we are going to copy this line here. So we want to merge, we're going to generate a new variable that is called all heat waves. It's going to contain the database with all of the heat waves, and we want to merge that with the coordinates. Close brackets, and we run this line of code. So now what you had there is a new data table in which you had the heat waves in 1950, 2099, the absolute change, the X and the Y, right? And you go back to the code that was doing the raster. That's exactly what this guy had here. He has the X and the Y and a variable that he wants to plot. So now we can copy this. So we're going to paste that here. All right, keep in mind that this DF database on that example has 3 variables in there: the X, the Y, and the variable that they want to plot. So what we are going to do here is going to generate a variable that is called DF, and that DF is going to select from heat waves open the square brackets, we put a comma because we want all of the rows, and we go put C. We want from that, we want the X, right? We want the Y, and we want the variable that is going to be called absolute change, right? What we are trying to do is again resemble exactly what that person did over there. We close brackets, we put this with false, which is necessary for you to select all of the rows, and then you close your square brackets, right? So what we had done here is to create a database called DF that basically from the database heat waves has the X, the Y, and the absolute change. Let's run this. Now you type DF. There you have the 3 columns, exactly the same 3 columns that this person was using there in this example here, 3 columns. Now what we can do is just run exactly the same thing that this person does that. and then we just run all of those lines of code, right? So now this is the raster. Let's look at let's plot this, plot raster df, which is the thing that he created, and there you have it, right? So these are the absolute changes on here anomalies. So you can see all of these places here had a lot of heat waves, and there are some places that had 0 heat waves, obviously all over the ocean. I guess the oceans are buffering from here anomalies, and that's how you start playing now with how to plot maps in R. Obviously you want to put a boundary to this. You can just go back to Google and you can maybe type here how to plot a map boundary in R. Let's check this guy out here. Maybe this is just to show New Zealand though, but I want to see making maps in R. Maybe I had to rephrase my question here. Maybe it's a global map. How to plot a global map boundary in R. This one seems to be alright. There is a global map. So you need to load those 2 packages. And here are some examples. Let's just load these 2 packages. Maybe they are already installed in my computer, maybe not. Nope. So I'm just gonna go and install those 2 packages, maps. Go and scroll down for maps. Where is maps here? There. So that's the first package, maps. And the other one is map data. Okay, where is map data here? Map data right there. Actually, I'm gonna formulate this question differently. How to plot a raster on top of a global map boundary in R. Check out this guy here. Let me see this guy here. I don't know if this is what line of code is this. Open map. Where is this package from? So again, this is another example. It's using a different package called OpenMap. If you read here on the top, OpenMap strip, let's just get that one, install that one. OpenMap. OpenStreetMap right there. And what is the other package? ArcGDAO, which I already have installed. So we should just load those two packages. Now copy those two lines of code. And so that's one of the many packages there for you to bring maps into R. Obviously you have to play. Here I just wanna an outline though. So let's scroll down. This is a different library. This is just getting the United States. Okay, map. Creating a variable called map. Oh, haven't loaded the library ArcGDAO.